Hi, I'm Tuna, and after the first tutorial, which was Xeora Cube environment setup, in this tutorial we will start learning how we can develop a web application using Xeora Cube. If you remember, we already apply a Xeora Cube Framework on our project, and here is the project. And let's start checking with default main HTML page. Okay, whenever we open the default view in our sample, we see some Xeora Cube code here, and let's see what is going on when we run the web application. Okay. When we check the source code, we see some other HTML codes other than what we write inside, what we code inside our view. Only the thing is belonging to us is this text. So why these things coming here? XeoraCube adding some special HTML code to make the page working according to XeoraCube rules. That's why these codes are exist here. Let's check the structure of our XeoraCube framework and try to understand why these additions happening. First of all, the most important part in XeoraCube framework is configuration XML. The configuration XML is our heart in the domain, XeoraCube domain, and there are some settings exist which should exist to working well domain. For example, we have here authentication page, default language, default caching. These fields are mandatory for domain. And why it is exists. For example, default page is the landing page of your domain. When the first request happens to the framework, if there is not another page requested, this default page sending to the browser or the requester. The main is, the value is the template ID of your domain. The template, existing template. For example, we have main here as template, and when a user came to the root, it's going to do main. Default language is also a mandatory field to define which language is the default language of the website or web application. You can make it dynamic. For example, when a user came to do web application, and you can somehow find its country according to the requester IP address, and you can make this kind of things dynamic. But if anything failed on dynamic part, or you don't want to do that, when the visitor came to the page, the default language will be used as what you define in value field, value attribute. Default caching is how you are acting. Not how you are, how the framework acting to page about caching on client side. For example, text only is only for caching the text content of a page. There's another values exist which is no cache. You are not letting them to cache anything, or all contents which is caching everything, including photos or videos, whatever exists inside of the page. And authentication page is the template, I mean the view of default, I mean the authentication page template. When another template requires some authentication to view, the XeoraCube understanding it, and it's redirecting to the user or visitor to authentication page, and we are defining that value in this attribute. Services are how you are defining the views or the templates or services sockets we will talk about later. We will go simple right now, and let's keep it how it is in here. Here we have only one language file located in the languages. This language file contains some translations. There's some predefined translations exist. There are used by Xeora Cube Framework, which is not important right now. And the only thing which is interesting for us is site title. If a user came to the website and you didn't make the site title something dynamic, it's reading from here and putting in our web page. In contents, we are separating contents according to the languages, and we have only one language here, which is English, and under it we have style CSS. The style CSS is our default style for this domain. You can put something else, it is not important, some custom styles, but default Xeora using this style inside of the application. Anyway, let's play with HTML a bit. Let's delete this default code and write something more beneficial for us. Okay, after all those boring part, let's make something working. Because of the reason, I prepare this form, and let's see how it is looking. This is how it is looking. And whenever we post this form, we want to print the name and surname under this post button. While XeoraCube rendering the page or control or service, it's paying attention to the $sign. For XeoraCube, the values between the dollar signs is important. If it is meaningful for itself, it's using and rendering it. That's why whenever you type dollar in your page, in your view, IntelliSense appearing, I mean the code completer. However, operators are not exist here because operators are special, and 7 different type of operator exists. I will not tell all of it. I will just tell how you can print the posted value inside of the page, and its operator is tilde. And whenever you type tilde and the name of the form field, it's printing here like this. For example, it means that print here the name value coming from post. And also, for example, let's say surname, and that's all. Whenever we post this page, it will print name and surname post values under the post button. Let's see how it is working. Let's open the page and type, for example, Bob and as you see, the value printed under the post. Okay, for now I'm leaving here. On our next tutorials, we will jump in more complex and complicated stuffs. And thank you for watching.